My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Slay the Spire. We're going to be doing the daily challenge for August the 22nd of 2019. Character is the Ironclad, the modifiers are Insanity, Vintage, and Lethality. They're written there on the screen. I'm not going to continue reading out the modifier text at the start of each of the daily episodes. Burst is up there on the top of the leaderboard. Number 1 at 1717 for a score. I'm afraid, Burst, you're going down. Because these modifiers, ooh, baby. I think I got it. I think I got it for real this time. All right, so open up the deck and immediately sort by A to Z so that I know exactly how many copies of each I have. Okay, so if I have to remove anything from the deck, I can safely remove an Anger. No armaments, 2 copies of Combust, 3 copies of Clothesline, 2 of Cleave, 2 Flex, 3 Heavy Blade, 2 Hemokinesis, 2 Pommel Strike, 2 Combust, 2 Rampage, 2 Shrug It Off, 3 Sword Boomerang, that's really good. Whirlwind, especially because of lethality with us having +3 strength, Whirlwind is one of the best things that we can get. We're never going to get enough defense in this deck to defend for a significant amount of turns, not with armaments, Flame Barrier, Power Through, and Shrug It Off being basically our only forms of defense in this base 50 cards. So the only way we perfect fights is by being really aggressive and killing the enemies before they can even do anything to us. Now, thinking about my opening paths here, I ideally want question marks because I do want the curses for the sake of getting the curses modifier, but other than that, just normal enemy encounters. So ideally not shops. Those are probably the least valuable spaces that I can get here in the early game. I think I'll just take this. Thunderclap, Sword, Boomerang, Twin Strike should just be lethal. That's lethality for you. Pantograph at the start of boss combat, heal for 25 HP. Ideally that's not useful for us at all. Preserved Insect, enemy elite combats have 25% less HP. Now that one, however, that one's pretty damn useful. Okay. And flex my way straight to lethal. Karen's Ashes, when he exhausts a card, deal 3 damage to all enemies. We're in Ironclad and we have not only Karen's Ashes, but Insanity, so we're probably not going to be cycling our deck. Like, getting Corruption and putting Corruption in a Bottled Tornado as early as possible is really huge power spike we could hit. Here's our first curse, as well as the Stone Calendar. At the end of turn 7, deal 52 damage to all enemies. Yeah, that's just never going to trigger for us. Isn't this a fun thing? Ooh, get to have both of those trigger and do still barely anything. Holy Smooth Stone, start each combat with 1 dex. Not too useful. So the only upgrades here that really matter are on things that become innate or things that I am likely to make innate. I'm going to upgrade the Whirlwinds because if I find a Bottled Flame, that's immediately where that's going. I don't really have much set up to do in this deck. And this is a pretty good hand in terms of damage. So I'm going to Fear Potion, Anger, Twin Strike, Anger, Headbutt, and Anger back to the top of the deck. Okay, I might have been able to get away without doing that Fear Potion there, but happy to have the Singing Bowl at the very least. When adding cards to your deck, you may raise your max HP by 2 instead. It's kind of difficult for us to add cards to the deck. So anytime we get a card offered to us, if it has any possibility of giving us a collector's bonus, we should take it. And here there's a Second Wind. That's our second wind. Twin Strike's just a more valuable card for me, and it'd be my 3rd, so I'll take it. And yeah, rests don't matter to us. So shops and rests are probably the least valuable spaces. Yeah, so we had the right path then. Good. Fine. I'm pretty sure I'm never really gonna have to defend. Toxic Egg, whenever you add a skill card to your deck, upgrade it. Outside of shops, we don't get that many cards, so it's probably not gonna be too impactful. Spot Weakness Heavy Blade here seems like a real good idea. I don't actually exhaust that many cards in my first shuffle, so the Feel No Pain, while you typically think it's really, really good in a Sentry fight, actually isn't good here. I can hit an Armaments on Flame Barrier. The Flame Barrier goes from 12 to 16, so 16, 17, 17, 6... 17, 6, 23. That leaves me one short of actually being able to defend the incoming damage. That's really unfortunate. Okay, in order to guarantee... Do I want to guarantee that I get the perfect here? No, I'm going to be able to perfect that boss anyway. I'm going to use the Flex Potion here to try and guarantee that I get the perfects. Got him. Blue Candle, unplayable curse cards can now be played. Whenever you play a curse, lose 1 HP and exhaust it. Super useful for the sake of triggering Karen's Ashes with all of the curses that ideally we end up putting in this deck. Pummel, Disarm, and Iron Wave. Disarm comes pre-upgraded, and it's quite defensive. But Pummel is in a character who already has a bunch of strength, and ideally gets more strength. Iron Wave is the one we're more likely to be able to get a collector's bonus of, but starting out with no copies of Iron Wave in the deck, that doesn't seem that likely. So I'll take the Pummel for a bunch of damage. Okay. Upgrade on a draw card, I feel. Like Battletron. Actually, no. Upgrade on the armaments. All of the armaments should be our first order upgrades. Hell yes. Got an extra elite on the floor. Where most might not have. Letter Opener. Every time we play 3 skills in a single turn, deal 5 damage to all enemies, as well as that'd be our third flex. Comes pre-upgraded in a deck that actually values flex as well, so appreciated. Alright. I like how little of my resource I actually have to expend to get these fights down here. The fact that... So, in Insanity, you start with a deck that has a bunch of cards that are not basic, right? So you're obviously starting much more powerful than the average deck. But usually, you get less powerful over time because you can't curate a strategy as effectively out of a deck that has 50 cards that may be trash for your strategy. So usually you have a power spike at the start and you get worse as the fights go on. However, with Vintage, you have a power spike at the end because you've got a ridiculous amount of relics supporting your build, and at the start, you kind of flounder because you can't get access to cards. So it's really, really neat. Both of these are kind of covering each other's downside. Making it just real easy for us. Which means that it's a lot easier for us to instead compete for score rather than compete to see whether or not we continue to live. Cleave, pummel, headbutt, a cleave back to the top of the deck. Fine. Flex 25. Okay, so the enemy splits at 70. I think I go with the Rampage and then stop. Cleave 18 over? No, I can go far more than 18 over. It's 18 by itself. Yep. Oh, no, I actually had enough energy for the Wild Strike as well. Happy Flower. Dang it. My bad. Thankfully, it's all cool. We still have lethal. I was just stalling to get myself closer to the next happy flower, of course. Limit Break, Exhume, and Immolate. So we are still yet to add a rare card to this deck, so that means that we still have access to the Pauper's bonus. We're very unlikely to get a Collector's bonus on any of the rare cards that we do add, so I suspect that this is a great opportunity to get a little bit more max HP. And here it's definitely just extra energy. The extra card choice is actually, hang on. The extra energy is really, really, really good for our offensive potential and keeping us perfect in elite fights, but the extra cards can be collector's bonuses? No. No. Those collector's bonuses are never going to be as impactful as having the coffee drippers extra energy, I feel. Okay. 2 maximum elites this floor, and there's only one path that gets me to them, so kind of non-negotiable. Sweet. So it's 25 block they gain on that turn. Good thing to finally have that and keep it in mind. Red Skull at the, not start, but while your HP is at or below 50%, you have 3 additional strength. I think I was trying to read out of my mind the text for Red Mask at the start of each combat, apply 1 weak to all enemies, because it starts with red. Thankfully, that's not so much of a mistake anymore, because now we actually will get the Red Mask. The game provides. It's another one of those, I say something, it's wrong, and then the game formats it to make it right. The game provides. Speed push. Pommel Strike versus Cleave. That's definitely a refer to the deck ditch. Pommel Strike has, yeah, so both of them have 2, but Pommel Strike is attached to draw. Have to take it. It's also another strike, so it could be useful if we ended up going for Perfected Strikes later on, although that seems to me quite unlikely. That's our second curse. Also, we are getting max HP from the curses now with the Dark Stone Periapt, so they're very important to us. There's Corruption and there's Prismatic Shard. Prismatic Shard's real bad, but the Corruption, Pummel, Headbutt, all of that's great. I also do like Dramatic Entrance, actually. Corruption, Pummel, Headbutt. Dramatic Entrance, and then none of the rest of these actually really fit our deck at all. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Oh my god, this is gonna be so good. Is that lethal? Yeah. Lethal +1 as well. Upon pick up, gain 300 gold. Thank you. Our upgrades. Yeah. Another armaments. Also, Corruption seems like a useful upgrade, just so that if I draw into it and don't have enough energy to cast it for full, I still get to. I'm gonna attack potion here, looking for something. Something like this I'll have to do. Fine, I guess I am actually just taking damage this turn. Shouldn't use the potion if I was going to end up taking damage anyway, though. I'll Gambler's Brew those. It's weird to get both of those in the same hand this early. Peace Pipe, but you can now remove cards from your deck at rest sides. We're never really going to be doing that. Fire Breathing versus Seeing Red versus Reckless Charge. If nothing else, I take Seeing Red here, but I think I have a copy of Fire Breathing in the deck. Yes, that's a possibility of a collector's bonus. Unlikely, but possibility, so I'll do it. Smith again. I think we still have 1 unupgraded armaments left in this deck. Then it's just sources of draw past that point. Yeah. Penib, every 10th attack you play deals double damage. That can be a really, really incredible relic. Hopefully it pays out for us. Okay. Duvudolf. Reach cursing deck, start each combat with 1 strength. Great. That's 2 extra strength for us right now. Huge, great fan. Taking flex and corruption is really good as well. Because the second copy of corruption makes it more likely I get a corruption earlier on, and corruption is so damn powerful here. Then on top of that, I could take a thunderclap. I also took the flex for the collector's bonus, as you might imagine. I could take the thunderclap and the cleave. And in fact, I think I do. So yeah, I'm not saving up all of my money for a late shot where I have a courier or anything like that, because I've been trying to do that a few times, and every single time it is not worked out for me. Ornamental Fan. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 4 block. As well as remove all strikes, obtain 5 bites. So I have no strikes in this deck at the moment, but those 5 bites are a collector's bonus. Although it's going to make it harder for me to get my stuffed or any of the max HP bonuses. I would have had to use both the Dex Potion and the Speed Potion this turn in order to stay perfect, so I feel like that's probably not worth it. Actually, I might have lethal this turn, so... Yeah, I've got double damage on my 3rd attack. That would be the Wild Strike. If we make the enemy vulnerable, this does 6 more damage, so 19, 19, 19. So 19 3 times over is 3 lower than 60, it's 57. Then this becomes 44, 66. So wait, I have 66 and 57. I think that's 123. Wait. 57. It's 123. We have lethal plus 1 exact. Oh, never mind. Okay, we also have the Karen's Ashes, so never mind. It's plus 4. Yep. Good hits. Start each combat with 1 strength. Oh, you know I want to. Anger doesn't make sense, but we'll take a Seeing Reds. Mercury Hourglass at the start of your turn deals 3 damage to all enemies. Very neat. Quite a large fan of it. Yeah, now we know the corruptions. And then card draw. Unfortunately, I don't have double damage, so I can't do like a double damage whirlwind or something like that. That would have been so good if I had that queued up, though. Oh. Very disappointed I don't. Oh, is that gonna miss? I don't yet miss out on the perfect bonus. But gosh, we're getting close. I'm gonna use the... Yeah, I'm gonna use the this turn. The Dex Potion rather than the Speed Potion. Ugh, okay, gotta draw into something. Or I could headbutt something to the top of the deck and then draw it. I could headbutt the pommel... Sorry, the Flame Barrier to the top of the deck and then draw that. That'll do. Also got double damage on my next hit. Unfortunately, Pummel is not in my next hand. Oh, what? Never mind. Spoke too soon. But do I uppercut to get the vulnerability first? So uppercut is 38, and then Pummel after that. This goes down to 8 by 4, and then the vulnerability means that goes to 12 by 4. So 48 and 38. So it's 4 short of 90, it's 86. So it's 86 damage to do it in that order. Versus the 16 by 4 right now is 64. And then after that, this would be 19. So 64, 19 is 73, 83. Yeah, so it's uppercut first. It actually should have been armaments first to hit the uppercut for an extra turn of vulnerability. Yeah. Oh, that's 100% what it should have been. I would have vulnerability on the enemy for the next turn where they aren't attacking, guaranteed. That would have been so good. Oh. If I don't end up with the perfect bonus, and I probably don't anymore, it's entirely because of the mistake I just made there. That's so bad. Yeah, I think I can't. Entirely my own fault. I deserve that. So I'm probably going to be like 100 short of the score where I really want to be, but we'll see whether or not that would have made a difference. If it turns out that's the difference between me and first position, I'm going to be so sad. That's a bunch of curses from the Calling Bell. That's a bunch of max HP from the Dark Imperiapt, and it gets us to our Duvidor. We have to take it. Warpaint and Mummified Hand and Nunchaku. All of those pretty great pickups for us, actually. We do have a lot of powers in this deck. Yep, just go straight down that hardcore elite path on the left. Perfect. Sundial? Yeah, are we ever gonna trigger the Sundial? I'd kind of be amazed. Chemical X. The effect of your X cost cards are increased by 2. There's a Shrug It Off and a Spot Weakness available here. Both of those are cards that we do have a copy of in the deck. I don't have that many X cost cards in the entire deck either. Perfect. Bag of Marbles at the start of each combat, apply 1 vulnerable to all enemies. Finally, we have that. This dramatic entrance is just incredible for us. And continues to be so. Have the enemy die at the start of the turn so the pen nib isn't active. Oh, Anchor at the start of each combat, gain 10 block. Yes. My first turn pretty much takes care of itself, as it turns out. Molten Egg, whenever you get an attack card to your deck, upgrade it. That's another pummel, but that's up against the Cleave, and the Cleave is our collector's bonus, so we have to take it. I shouldn't have gone to the rest there. There was no reason to go for it. Alright. I've hit more than 100 in a single attack already, I think. So I suspect that means that I don't need to concern myself with waiting here to get enough slow stacks in a single turn to hit 100. Oh my god, can we not have this happen to me? Just such a garbage hand. Anti-synergistic to heck. Damn it. No perfect for me here either. Yeah, I feel like Burst has probably got me on this one. Well done. Well done. Bottled Lightning upon pickup, choose a skill. Start each combat with an opening hand. And I don't think we have a Carnage or a Clash in this deck yet. So I think I start taking max HP. And then I want the Battle Trance in my opening hand, so that my opening hand is much larger. Question card, Future God Wars have 1 additional card to choose from. Hilarious thing to offer us on the final floor in Vintage, as if we're going to get much use out of it. Excellent. Oh, I should have thrown the Intimidate out there as well. I gotta remember, I'm never getting back to any of these cards. No need to keep them around, ever. For any reason. Now's the part where I try and make sure that I use enough attacks to get as much healing as possible, as well as set up the pen nib for the next combat. Dead branch. When exhausted card, add a round card to your hand. Well, now we see... now we see how this one's impossible to end up losing. And how the perfect on the final boss is pretty easily locked up. Got him. Back in preparation, at the start of combat, draw 2 additional cards, as well as... Uppercut is already in the deck, so is Spot Weakness. Spot Weakness is probably more impactful. Actually, no, Uppercut. We don't have that many sources of weakness in the deck, especially. I'm gonna take the Dex Potion. I don't think we're ever really gonna be using a Speed Potion in this combat. Or rather, in this run. I'm gonna put out Combust to finish off this fight. Just saves me a turn worth of time. The Smiling Master Merchant's card moves over now always cost 50 gold. Yeah, of course we don't get a merchant immediately thereafter. I would like a Parasite here, but I'm not gonna sit around trying to wait for it. If the game provides, the game provides. That's a Parasite. Just a little bit more max HP, innit? I'm totally happy to take that hit, because taking a hit against this enemy doesn't negatively impact our score. And I'm already going to be on full HP by the time I go into the boss fight anyway, with the Pantograph especially. Double damage is pretty far away. Just checking whether or not something that's... Or rather, that's something with which I have to concern myself. Omomori, negate the next curses you obtain. Fine, we can finally take that. Cleave, dang, we could have had too many cleaves. Headbutt. I don't think I have a collector's bonus with taking that. No, I don't. Dang. Warcry could actually be useful. And then final thing is going to be upgrading the battle trance that's in the opening hand. Do I shrug it off first? I think I will. But I don't have to decide if I use the energy potion until afterwards. Okay, I'm pretty far from my next double damage. 3 safe attacks until then. I really do want to get a double damage pummel out this turn, though. So that kind of asked me to go Twin Strike, and then the double damage pummel hits the back line. Polish it off with a Cleave and then a Whirlwind, just to increment the Nunchaku and the Pen Nib an extra time. Yeah. Yeah. I'm 100 off of the Beyond Perfect. Oh, 1592 could have been my score, but it's 1492. It's going to be really disappointing. Obviously, we're not going to be first here. We're a fair way from that. 17th. Damn it. I could have been equal to Wang there in the 6th slot. If only I was slightly cleverer somewhere around the, I want to say, 18-minute mark there. For the moment, though, my name's been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.